Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
It is the fun thing about LA, right, Carlos? You can be like, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger terminating a pothole in my neighborhood? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
What happened was going to hire some background actors to stand there for 3 weeks while I'm waiting for this hole to get fixed. I want him in front of my house to put like a line for 2 parking spaces because people always park in front of my house kind of halfway. I need to be able to fit 2 cars in there.
Yeah.
If you do parking correctly, I'll call Franco Colombo and he will move the car just like he did in my movie Pumping Iron, okay?
Yeah, where I cycle, I've got in here, I have a lot of potholes he can fix.
There's a lot of potholes.
I would like him to fix my tires from the potholes.
He's only concerned about Brentwood.
And if you want, I can cover up the mouse holes in your house and become an exterminator.
I
You know what I'm saying?
you said that.
That's a
Yeah,
joke.
that is a funny joke that I made. Okay.
Where's my rim shot? Where is it? Give me a rim shot now.
Okay.
I get his frustration, though. It just sits there, and you're like, is anybody going to come and fix this? But because of the rain, like you say, you got to wait.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, Carlos, your reaction to the Fox Dominion settlement. We are
very pleased that they pleaded the financial fifth is basically what they did.
Yeah. I mean, it is legally a significant settlement. Where's the 18, the Fox CEO yesterday? Here we go.
Fox and Dominion have reached an historic settlement. Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that. Throughout this process, we have sought accountability and believe the evidence brought to light through this case underscores the consequences of spreading lies.
I mean, there is some accountability. I think a lot of us would have liked them to have to say something on air,
Yeah, absolutely. As like Rupert Murdoch going, what do we owe? 785 million? 87? Go to my sock drawer, reach under the pair of blue socks. You should be able to find it there.
This can be the cost of doing business and not sink a company.
Right.
Nearly $1 billion. Just like, oh, well, we'll just go on, continue lying now about other stuff.
Like we said earlier, insurance is going to pay it. It's not going to ding them at all.
Right. I mean, we can only hope this is the beginning. There are also individuals being sued. Smartmatic is up next. I mean, so you have to hope that, Glenn Kirschner said we've only just begun in terms of the, this Fox stuff, I hope. Because I just think, Jamie Harrison said the same thing I did. They're cancer. They're poison, whatever you want to call it, on our country, on our body politic.
I think they changed the landscape of the whole Republican Party. They've had to steer towards DeSantis land, where you've got to go further right from Trump now. You've got to be so bad that maybe even Fox doesn't even watch you on their network,
Yeah.
They changed the landscape of political, I wouldn't even call it discourse. They have enough money where they can lie.
Yeah.
And
well,
their viewers are never going to hear about the story.
I was saying I will take any measure of justice anywhere I can. This is some measure of justice. Trump's first indictment is at least one measure. This one, Allison Gill, our friend, tweeted, breaking at least one of the Georgia fraudulent electors has immunity and is cooperating with Fani Willis. The cooperator. This cooperator is not one of the electors rep by DeBrow. That was one of the famous attorneys who failed to offer immunity to her clients and then lied to the court about it. So, we were saying, even with the Fox thing, there was even more damning stuff coming down the pike, I think, which is why they settled. This producer found an old phone, which it sounds like Fox deliberately suppressed that evidence. I mean, it's just, that's what I mean. There's always like other layers of, like, it doesn't surprise me. This lawyer, of course, is someone that would choose to defend this big lie. It's all one story, right? Fox News, the Georgia fraudulent electors. So, but it looks to me like, we're on our way to justice there. If one of the electors is cooperating, I think that's a great sign, don't you?
Yeah, some sliver of justice, and hopefully it starts poking holes in the dam and it can crumble and implode. Yeah. It reminds me, too, of the sheriff situation where they're caught talking about lynching people, and now their defense is like, hey, that was obtained illegally.
Right. Yeah, that's the bad
part. Not that you did anything horrific or what your intentions were, that somebody sneakily taped you being an evil idiot.
Yeah.
But so, they all swim around in the same circle, and Yeah, your hope is that bit by bit that the walls start to implode and then anchors just say, you know what, I can't work anymore.
Yeah.
You have former Fox people just going, God, this network is a joke.
By the way, it is all one story when we talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger filling what's supposed, I guess, might have been a utility trench with the wrong material.
Listen, I use silly
Republican. It's just Republicans. They're a bad idea factory. Bad fixes. I don't know if you saw this. Trump says he will outlaw homelessness and arrest everyone who refuses to comply.
What?
He will then give them the option to get out of jail to be relocated to a new tent city elsewhere. Right. Those are called internment camps. We've heard. I mean, we're all frustrated with the homeless problem in California, but this
Makes no sense.
Oh no.
Where are you going to put them?
Well,
Right.
They're
going to remain homeless.
He says he will outlaw homelessness, arrest everyone who refuses to comply. He will give them the option to get out of jail to be relocated to new tent cities where he will take care of their needs.
What does that mean, giving you the option? Okay, you can scale this wall. You can show me how they're getting over the wall on the border. If you could scale this wall,
I mean,
then
it's
you can
just,
get out of prison, okay?
but that's the kind of stuff they run on. It's just the fear-mongering and dividing. I mean, we're all frustrated by the homeless situation out here in California. I think we know
but you
enough
can't
to know. You're like, why does that sound familiar? Camps of some sort. I mean, oh my God.
I'm working with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. We're gonna have it's a great reality show. It's called Tent City.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fight to the death. There're gonna be drugs. Gonna let the dregs fight it out. You gotta take him to Epstein's Island, okay?
I just,
I know exactly how to get there, by the way.
we've been talking about, this Dianne Feinstein situation. And, I hate to say it, Carlos. I like to be happy clappy. But I said last week I said anything that's going to depend on the decency of Republicans, we're not going to be able to count it. And sure enough, Susan Collins sinks hopes of replacing Dianne Feinstein on the judiciary. And even more vomitous is they're trying to make it sound like, they're just protecting Dianne Feinstein. Oh, my God. They could care less. They just don't want any of Biden's judicial picks to get through.
It's kind of a McConnell move.
What's that?
It's kind of a McConnell move.
Yeah, I mean, oh, my God, please, with Mitch McConnell and our dear friend, Senator Feinstein. Yeah.
I want to address an extremely unusual request that our Democratic colleagues have made with respect to the Judiciary Committee. Our dear friend, Senator Feinstein, is a titanic figure, a stateswoman. Elaine and I have been honored to count the senator and her late husband, Dick, as close personal friends for many, many years. We miss our colleague. We wish her the very best for a speedy recovery and a smooth return.
So Collins also framed her objection to replacing Feinstein as a show of respect for the longtime senator, even though the obstruction goes against Feinstein's stated wishes. Other Republicans make clear they simply want to just keep stonewalling Biden's judicial nominees. I mean, at least they're being honest. The people talking about you're being so disrespectful to Dianne Feinstein. Her wishes are to be replaced temporarily.
That's what her request is.
Right.
So it's perfectly okay to go after Fetterman and say that he's, incapable of coming back. And I didn't hear that same speech from Mitch McConnell.
Not at all.
I extend my deepest condolences to Mr. Fetterman, and I hope that he can get. It's so obvious.
Yeah,
what
so
they're
disingenuous.
Doing.
One, Brian Fallon, Demand Justice, said, if you want an example of how one side plays to win and the other does not, look at how Durbin refuses to get rid of blue slips and handing Republicans a unilateral veto of Biden's judicial picks, while Republicans won't so much as let an ailing Feinstein be replaced temporarily. This is why I keep saying alpha liberals, let's go.
Yes, both parties are not the same. Both parties are not the same. You have two choices. You pick the party that is better. That's the Democrats. Vote blue, vote blue, vote blue.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Who is? I see. Oh, Collins. Yes. Oh, suddenly Susan Collins is just a feminist. That's all she is. Yes.
Senator Feinstein, and she's a good friend of mine. During the past 2 years, there's been a concerted campaign to force her off of the Judiciary Committee, and I will have no part of that.
Aw, it's the
thank you,
sisterhood,
Edith Bunker.
Travis. We missed that. It's all about the sisterhood for her.
Thank you, Edith Bunker. Archie, they're trying to get rid of her on the judiciary at the Sunshine Home. Oh, geez, Edith, can you lie a little bit better? They're reading right through you.
And I can't remember if he's Madam or Flowers, but Kennedy.
He's the love child of them.
Senator Kennedy, right.
The people that are trying to shove her out the door after her years of service
Oh,
ought to
please.
hide their heads in a bag. She's being treated very shabbily.
Oh, my God.
She
and
requested it!
That really disappoints me. I don't agree with a lot of what Senator Feinstein does. We all get sick, and there apparently are some senators up here who would unplug your life support system and to recharge their cell phone if they thought it was in their political interest.
Oh,
And
my God.
That kind of attitude disappoints me.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, my God. Them trying to defend her.
respect
They're
her.
just, I'm just defending a sick old lady that I love. It's like, oh, please. You just don't want any judicial picks to get through, making it sound like you're Dianne Feinstein's defender, right? When you fought against everything she's ever stood for, including asking that she would like to be temporarily replaced on the judiciary so that our business can move forward while she recovers. I'm like, oh my God. They're
I
just,
respect her. I don't respect what she requested, however.
I mean, seriously, they don't, none of them give one flying about Dianne Feinstein. Oh my God.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade. It is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and healthcare benefits.